Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ange if you haven't met me before, and today we're going to be talking about some underrated houseplants that I have in my houseplant collection. So these are houseplants that I really don't think get the hype and love that they deserve. There are so many plants that are trending on Instagram or on social media, but these are the plants that I don't think get enough love. So hopefully I can show you something, well, not necessarily new, but something that you might really enjoy. There are some more uncommon plants and also some really common plants as well. So definitely keep on watching if you're interested to see those. But before we get into all of the plants, I really want to give a thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of different classes for you to enjoy or to just explore your creativity. They honestly have so many different topics that you can choose from. They've got photography, drawing, painting, or even if you just want to learn a little bit more about plants, they've got you. So I personally just finished the class Designing the Life That You Want by Michelle B. And this class was just designed to help you get a little bit more motivation or help you find a direction in life that you want to take. I found this class really insightful, and to be honest, I got a little bit emotional when doing some of the exercises. So I really do recommend this class if you're like me and you're feeling just a little bit lost or even just bored. The best part of Skillshare is that it is absolutely curated for learning, and that means there are no ads and they're always adding to their extensive library of different classes so you can try something new. Skillshare has kindly offered the first 1,000 of my subscribers to use the link in this video a free 1-month trial of Skillshare. So thank you so much Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and let's get into the plants. So we all love not spending a lot of money on plants. I know I do. I really hate having to put out a lot of money on the new plants that I want. So I thought that I would start off with the most affordable and the most accessible plant that I think is totally underrated. So the first plant that I'm going to be chatting about is my beautiful Burrus Tail. So I know that when I go into my big box stores or my plant nurseries, I always see this guy in the succulent section, and they're never more than like 10 bucks or something. Honestly, I love this plant. I think it is so cute. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a close-up. They just look like little jelly beans. And honestly, I find this guy grows quite quickly. This is living outside on my balcony. It was living in my kitchen for about 2 years, but I just thought moving it outside because it was getting quite long. I am wanting to repot this soon because I think this pot is getting just a little bit small. And if you want something that's super easy to take care of but so cute, I definitely recommend this one. The only downside to it is that it sheds leaves so easily. Like if you touch it, they will fall off. And that is why there is some missing spaces here. So I'm thinking that when I repot this, I'm going to just chop it here, get rid of some of these extra leaves, and then stick it in the soil. Every time that I've propagated like that, it works. I've never had a fail, so these are so easy to propagate. Another good thing though is if you do lose some of these leaves, just chuck them in the top and they will start sprouting their own little plant. So as you can see, this plant has a mass amounts of these small little ones coming out of the top, and that is from me just chucking those little leaves in there to make a new plant. And honestly, I just don't think this gets enough love. I think this would be beautiful in like a big hanging pot outside. So ideally that's what I'd want to do. I just don't really have anywhere to hang it. So if I can MacGyver a hanging system, then that's definitely what I want to do. But honestly, it is just so dang cute, so affordable, so go get yourself a Burrus Tail. So this is the second plant that I think is currently underrated by the houseplant community, and this is the Monstera Picana. I do believe I have the El Salvador version of the Monstera Picana, and I do have the original one as well, but I think the El Salvador is just that much more pretty. So to give you a close-up of these beautiful leaves, you can see it is green, but it has this beautiful silvery type of veining on the leaf, and they're absolutely stunning. So the main difference between the normal one and the El Salvador is that silvery color to the leaves. I do think the El Salvador as well gets a little bit bigger in leaf size if you do let it climb. This one is not the best representation of a climbing plant. I literally just stick them on. I don't really mind if they connect to the pole or not, but this one is such a quick grower. And again, propagation is like a dream. I've propagated this so many times. That is how I've gotten this plant really nice and full. it did have a little bit of pest issues. I think it was thrips a few months ago, so there are some leaves that need a little bit of TLC, but it has bounced back really, really well, so I'm so happy with that. This one I would say is a little bit more on the uncommon side, but definitely not rare. So I do find these getting sold on Facebook and things like that quite often and for quite an affordable price. So I would say for like a 2-leaf plant, you're probably looking at about $40 here in Australia anyway. So I don't think it is completely unreasonable, especially for the fact that it grows so quickly. And if you give it something to climb on, it's gonna go wild. So definitely I think this one is really underrated and it's definitely one of my favorites in my houseplant collection. So if you don't have a Monstera Picana, especially the El Salvador, then I would definitely get it. The next plant that I have on my underrated list is this Piper Croquetum. So I'm hoping that maybe some of you haven't seen this plant before because I honestly don't see them talked about ever really. And this one is the one and only Piper I have in my collection. So I'm going to give you a nice little close-up with the leaves now. So you've got this beautiful pink veining to the leaves. It's kind of like matching my outfit today. I kind of went with an all pink theme to celebrate the springtime here in Australia. But honestly, these leaves are absolutely stunning. It was a little bit thirsty, that's why it's a little bit limp at the moment. So I did just water it, so it's going to perk back up within a few hours. But honestly, if you like pink, but not like tacky pink, I think you will really like this plant. In my experience, I found it is quite a slow grower though, so it is definitely not something that's going to be popping out leaves all the time. I probably only get a leaf every few months or so, to be honest. That could just be my inexperience with caring for Pipers. I honestly haven't nailed the care down, so I'm not going to give you any tips or anything like that. So this is more just about the beauty of the plant. It is beautiful. Another unique thing about Pipers is that on the backs of the leaves, you can see that it's got these like little dots on it, and they look like pests if you're not really sure about them, but they are not. They are like a sugar crystal that they put out through their leaves, so it is totally fine. I do rinse them off every so often because honestly it kind of freaks me out a little bit. It gives me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, so I'm not sure if that's the best thing to do or not, but I do rinse them off. But just know that they are not pests, they are the little sugar crystals. But honestly, if you can get your hands on these are really cute. I found this for $15 at like a store that was like a dollar store, and they were randomly selling plants out the front, so I got this one for super cheap. I don't believe that it is a very expensive plant, so it is absolutely beautiful and you get a good bang for your buck. Alright, and the next plant I have on my list is this plant, and I'm totally gonna butcher the name, so I'm sorry, but I think it's like a Shizmata Glossus Wallichii? Question mark, not exactly sure. Honestly, don't judge me, but I think this plant is so beautiful. This one I got from my big box store. I think I paid about $15 again for it, so not an expensive plant at all. But just look at this insane patterning to the leaves. I think it is so pretty. I don't have another plant in my collection that looks like this at all. Don't judge me though, because this plant did get a really bad case of spider mites. I don't see any now, like I think I have gotten it under control, but the other leaves did take a little bit of damage. This is the newest leaf that has just come out after the spider mites, so we're looking good. But you can see that the other leaves had a bit of browning, and I definitely had some yellowing leaves that I had to chop off. So like the Piper, this is the only Shizmata Glossus that I have in my plant collection. So again, not a pro on the care tips or anything like that, but I treat it like most of my other indoor plants. I do like this though because it is creating a little pups at the base. So we've got one little baby here, and we do have another little baby coming out of the soil now, so that's really exciting. I love when plants create their own little pups, so it kind of fills out the plant nicely and makes it look really large and in charge. So I cannot wait for that to happen to my plant. But honestly, if you can get this for $15, I think that is a steal, and it looks so tropical and unique in your houseplant collection. Like, it definitely pops against the other leaves that I have. It's currently living on my IKEA shelf, so it only gets light from some grow lights. If I had the space, I definitely would put it at a window. So maybe one day it can migrate from the IKEA shelf to a window. But honestly, I love this. I think it is so, so stunning. Alright, and the last plant I'm going to show you today is another Monstera. So I didn't actually realize that when I was picking these plants out, but 2 Monsteras in this video. This is the stunning Monstera Stanleyana, and this is the variegated form. This one's definitely a little bit tricky to show you just because the leaves kind of point upwards instead of facing the front. But I do notice it has this really nice unique growth pattern. Like all the leaves are really, really close together. It doesn't get leggy at all. And the leaves are absolutely beautiful. So it's like this really elongated shape, and it has some little patches of white to it. I know you can get a variegated form that has more of a yellow one, but you know, I am more of a white gal. I think it looks stunning. This one as well has some beautiful variegation, and overall I just find this one super easy to take care of. I haven't even repotted it from its not so great nursery mix. It's really, really dense, so at some point I probably will do that, but it puts out leaves quite quickly, and it is really, really resilient. No pest issues, nothing like that. We are having a new leaf coming out at the top here. Oh, this is one of the newest leaves as well. I really like that variegation. It's just so, so pretty. I know a lot of people hype over the variegated Monstera, driving the prices up, and like here it is absolutely unreasonable how expensive they are. So if you can get another Monstera that is not as expensive, I think it's a really good idea. Like I got this one from Bunnings and it says $49.98, but it actually scanned up as like $44 when I purchased it. But I do see these online around the $80 mark, I think. So they are a little bit more expensive than the other plants I've shown, but if you can, maybe Bunnings might get more of these in and get them for like $44. I think that is such a steal. I am planning to pop this one on a moss pole really soon, just to see how the leaves change, if they get fenestrated, if they get bigger. I'm really excited to see that, but honestly, this is so beautiful, and it's not as expensive as some of your more uncommon or rarer plants, so I would definitely get your hands on it if you like that really jungly, leafy vibe. Alright guys, so those are all the plants I have to show you today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up, and if you haven't already, then hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Alright, bye!